mon seul bonheur, c'est mon homme. J'ai donné tout ce que j'ai, mon amour et tout mon cœur à mon homme. Et même la nuit, quand je rêve, c'est de lui, de mon homme.
So first of all, everything technical was great about this production. I was engrossed in it from the beginning. Just thought it was really well done and acted, written. Everything about it was really good. The story, the subject matter, very relevant, and does need more attention brought to it, especially with how many dating apps there are and how quickly something like that can happen. And you're thinking at the end, or at least I was, even as a woman, how did she trust somebody so easily by going to their house so quickly? I think we've all, men and women, have made some bad choices in our lives and have gotten lucky. Well, this girl didn't get lucky, and it's just, it's a sad state of affairs when stuff like this happens. And you can't trust people. And there's the applications that are out there right now, these dating apps are so accessible and easy for anybody to get on them. And so it's just a good reminder to be careful. And I just thought this was a really great storyline. Not an easy one to tackle, and I thought they did a great job with it. So good job, everyone.
This short film, I think, is like one of those urban horror stories that you hear about, and it's kind of like one of your worst ever nightmares. I liked how it was filmed. It definitely is very misleading at the start, and I think it served as a cautionary tale. And the dialogue just made it more chilling as the events unfolded.
I really enjoyed the way that And They Lived Happily Ever After was styled visually. I think that it being so highly stylized and poppy and romantic looking, almost like a romantic comedy, made it even more disturbing as the reality of what was occurring sunk in. I think that in terms of the writing, it was clear why Maya felt motivated to go on this date, because she was upset over being blown off by whoever she was expecting to hang out with. And I think that her being there, we immediately see signs and see her feeling the sign that something is off. And overall, I think that this film is unfortunately very relatable to many women and shows a scenario that I think is a cautionary tale and a lesson in how we all need to really take extra care with putting ourselves in safe surroundings.
So, And They Lived Happily Ever After was definitely a difficult film thematically to watch. I think you guys did a good job with the visual effects, with, the text bubbles, and I really liked the way when the lighting changed from, normal lighting to red. I thought that was a smart way to kind of, foreshadow what was going to happen. I thought when, the drugs started hitting, the record scratches and jump cuts were kind of a good touch to kind of emphasize what was going on. And also the lighting at the end when it was blue, when she walked into her own house. I thought that was really smart. But it was really good. It was a good film, so congratulations.
I appreciated how the film begins and ends with makeup. First hopeful application and then devastating removal. Very symbolic framing of the piece. The performances of the two leads were very believable. They had a lot of chemistry and friendly banter at first, and you can see why he was so charming to lure young girls. I like the soundtrack of the romantic French song, which suits her desire for connection. But then the teenage music he plays for her is also very fitting. The slowing down as she was drugged was very effective and terrifying, as was how the date ended. Scary yet brilliant work.
And They Lived Happily Ever After was a great representation of, I feel, like almost every modern woman's fear, especially with dating apps and, you know, dates gone wrong in the worst way with this drugging. And you did a great job of framing that and making that fear materialized. I love how you the parallels of the film. I love how you did that with the makeup at the beginning and the end, and how you know, they mean incredibly different things, and probably, you know, act as a symbol of how she's probably going to either mask this from everyone, as so many women and survivors do, and just paint face and go on. So there's a lot to be said with that. Yeah, it was just a really thrilling story, in the worst way possible. And it was just, it kind of hit home. It was really scary. But it was done incredibly well. You did a great job of framing this issue and building the tone around it, with the way that you framed each shot alongside scoring the piece, and the lighting of everything. It all just came together really, really well. So very well done.
This was really an example of incredibly effective filmmaking, especially for the horror genre. Subject matter that's just so dreadfully real, it just hits that much harder. And some of the most successful horrors are ones where we're not looking at a monster, but more at, you know, the people's reaction to the monster or the relationships in it. And this one is just really powerful and effective, and great filmmaking, great performances. So hats off to everyone involved.